What is richly roasted, comes from 3 continents, and pairs with an entire Thanksgiving dinner? Starbucks Thanksgiving blend, of course. Where'd it go? Jeez, we drink a lot of coffee. This is what we're brewing up today. So, unplug your Keurigs, dust off your French presses, and let's go. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. It's great to have you here. For those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you probably have picked up that I'm a big fan of dark roasts. In fact, I cover a lot of coffees from Starbucks because I think we can all agree that, well, no one roasts a dark roast quite like Starbucks. I should put that on a t-shirt. No one roasts a dark roast. Starbucks Thanksgiving blend has been around for a while. I believe it started back in 2007. And over the years, I mean, it kind of goes through some developments and changes. It had originally started off as a blend between Guatemala, Antigua, and Sumatra. The 2021 version has those same 2 growing regions as well as Ethiopia. And so now they've incorporated the three main growing regions into one blend. So I think it's worthwhile covering the Thanksgiving blend each year just to see if there's any new developments with it and to just kind of see what the current roast is like. So what are we doing today? Well, we're gonna do 40 grams of coffee, 680 grams H2O, and this gives us a 1:17 ratio, which is kind of the only ratio I ever brew with. I've never really ventured from that. Maybe I should try it. 1:1. And I'm gonna brew all of this in a French press. And just like the intro said, I really had to dust this thing off because I don't think I've used it since my Christmas blend review from last year. I don't usually brew with a French press, but I don't know, something about the holiday blends just, I don't know, just seems to call for a French press. Nothing says the holidays quite like a French press. Okay, I'm gonna heat some water, grind some beans, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, beans are ground, water's done. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna give the French press a rinse, mostly because it's been sitting in the cupboard for a year, but also this is good just to kind of get the glass and metal warmed up. Dump the water. And take my grounds, 40 grams grounds. They are staticky. So the trick to this with a French press, similar to doing pour over styles, is we can actually do a bloom. And so to do the bloom, I'm gonna pour 80 grams of water, then I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna wait 30 seconds, let the water be absorbed into the grounds. While that's happening, like CO2 gases are gonna be released, and then it just helps the remainder of the brewing process just to extract coffee more efficiently. You can also just pour the thing full of water right away. So the way this is gonna work, I'm gonna start the timer. I'm gonna add 80 grams of water. I'm gonna wait 30 seconds, allow the bloom to take place. Then I'm gonna add the remainder of the water. And then we're just gonna wait till the timer hits 4 minutes, at which point, press on the plunger, the best part of a French press, and then we'll do the tasting. Timer started. I like to give myself like a 5-second leeway. Okay, pour 80 grams, and I'm just waiting for my timer. It's actually a countdown timer, so I'm waiting for it to hit 3:30. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pour till I hit 680. French presses, just a nice, solid, brisk pour. Not really trying to go slow here. Get it dead on. It's like pumping gas. Okay. Hey, 680. Now I put the plunger in. Try not to fling this thing off the scale. Now we wait. Yes. Time for the fun part. And this is the only reason why we make French presses anyways, isn't it? So we've reached 4 minutes. It's a nice firm press on the plunger till it stops. Okay guys, let's do a coffee tasting. Now I'm gonna lead you through this tasting and I'm gonna share my thoughts and opinions on this coffee, but at some point, if you do pick up a pound of Thanksgiving blend, it could be kind of cool if you come back to this video, brew some up and follow along and see how your results compare with mine. Okay, let's do it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check the aroma. So before we even taste the coffee, let's just smell it and just see what it smells like. Smells like coffee. The initial smell of the coffee has a lot of roasty nuttiness to it. The roastiness is cluing me in that this is in fact a dark roasted coffee, and the nuttiness is alluding to the beans in the blend that are sourced from Latin America. Could be stretching it a bit, but I think I do pick up a little bit of like a sweet spice that could be coming from the Sumatran beans in the blend. But I don't think I really notice any kind of bright citrus, kind of berry or fruit aroma that could come from the Ethiopian beans. Okay, let's move on to tasting the coffee. This is probably the most unattractive part because in order to properly taste coffee, you have to slurp it. You want to slurp it because you want to spray the coffee across your whole palate. Make sure you get a really good taste. Okay, all together now. 1, 2. You bleeped it? Really? You bleeped it? You bleep? It's how we test coffee. The mouthfeel is fairly heavy. It kind of lingers in your mouth. Acidity is, virtually non-existent. Wasn't really expecting much. I was curious to see how those Ethiopia beans in the blend would show through. Honestly, I hardly notice that they're there. I would think that if anything, they're adding a subtle sweetness that kind of appears right behind the roastiness. I am picking up an interesting flavor here. It's almost like a charred wood kind of smokiness. Sometimes coffees can have a cedary kind of flavor. I'm not getting that. It's more of like almost like campfire kind of smokiness. I'm not sure if I'm noticing the spiciness that I was getting in the aroma, which I'm a little disappointed about. I mean, spice is more of a Christmas blend thing, I get it, but I would have really loved to have a little bit more spice in this. I think it would have really expanded, added some more dimension to the flavor. Front of the packaging, their tasting notes say notes of candied pecan and sage. That sage, that might be part of that smoky kind of charred wood flavor that I was getting. And the candied pecan, I don't know if it's that intense. I think the way I would describe it is flavor-wise, the first impact is that roasty, nutty flavor, followed by a little bit of the candied pecan sweetness afterwards. And then there's kind of this lingering aftertaste where you get that kind of like smoky charred wood flavor, that kind of residual flavor. All in all, I think that the 2021 Thanksgiving blend is pretty good. Maybe like a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I think it'll pair great with Thanksgiving dinner, with the desserts. All in all, it's gonna just match up with pretty much anything. Personally, I would have liked to have either a little bit more spice or a little bit more of that Ethiopia presence present, just to add a little bit more sweetness. I think kind of either of those things or a combination of both would have really made this coffee stand out a lot more for me, but it's not bad. I think it's good. I recommend you try it out if you can't find it anywhere. And if you do, come back to this video, do the tasting for yourself and see what your thoughts are. Okay guys, happy holidays to you all, and I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, see you later.